Good morning and welcome to the free training series on NetFlow Analyzer. Today we will be looking into the part one of a two-part series, which will be on getting the initial settings right with NetFlow Analyzer. Before that, just wanted to give a brief about myself. I am your trainer for today. My name is Deepak Suresh. I'm the product specialist for NetFlow Analyzer. And with the data that we've earned with assisting customers and also potential customers who are evaluating the product, been working with the support for almost 4 or 5 years now. And I wanted to share that information that I've learned over this two-part series. So let's dive right into today's presentation. The agenda for today starts with the introduction to NetFlow Analyzer, what exactly the product is, what it does. How do you get started, as in if you're evaluating the product, what you need in order to get the NetFlow Analyzer product up and running. The network traffic analysis that is available with our tool will be discussed today. Top reports in NetFlow Analyzer. So as a NetFlow Analyzer reporting tool, you'll be looking into the top reports that will come in handy for your day-to-day use. Customization is available within our product, and we will see exactly how you could do that with our tool. We also will be able to talk about the issue identification that is available with the product. So how you get to find out real-time issues as it happens and get alerted based on that. And finally, we'll also be having a look into the distributed monitoring available with our product. This is specific to our enterprise edition that we have. So we'll be having a look into that too. So before we begin, I just wanted to let you know that this is a recorded session, and the recording link will be sent to you later over email, and this presentation also will be shared. Also, I would like to inform you that we have a handful of panelists and who will be answering your questions that would come up at any time that you want. So if you do have one, as I'm talking, head over to the questions pane available, and you can just drop in your questions there. So starting with what exactly is NetFlow Analyzer? NetFlow Analyzer is going to be your one-stop solution for bandwidth monitoring. And when I say bandwidth monitoring, this is going to be in-depth, where you can get to every single minute and we can tell you details of what is the speed, the volume, the utilization, the packet count, the application, top talkers, and all of that. But how we are able to give you this information is by looking into or working with the different supported flows. So we work with different kind of flow technologies available in the market, like NetFlow, SFlow, JFlow, IPFix, NetStream, AppFlow, and many other. So even if you have any new device that supports a different kind of flow, just let us know, like by sharing the packet capture, and we will have that added with you. So support is also there to help you out. So what are the different features that is there? As in what the product could do is that the basic thing is traffic analysis. So we'll be able to tell you the bandwidth usage and exactly how much speed and volume utilization has been used over a given period of time. Also, traffic grouping is available, where you can group your traffic and view the information based on the different groups that you've created. We have different monitorings available in our product, like we have Cisco AVC, which helps you to monitor the layer 7 traffic using the AVC technology from Cisco. We have dedicated wireless LAN controller traffic monitoring as an add-on. We also have IP SLA monitoring, where you can monitor your VoIP, WAN, or video networks with us. And we also have monitoring for CDQoS, where if you set up a class-based QoS before and after setting up the policy, how the information has changed, we can even alert you on that. Also, we have Medianet and Multicast support within our tool. And finally, we will also have this advanced security analytics module. So what this does is it'll alert you in case of any imminent attack that would come up on your network. So something like DDoS, ScanPro, botnets. So we can automatically find those, and we can alert you based on that. So that's the advanced security analytics module. This one is scheduled for the next week, so you can tune in for same time next week, and you can get a view on that. So getting started. Let's say I am going to be an evaluator who wants to go ahead and monitor the bandwidth across my network. And how do I get started? I'm just looking at NetFlow Analyzer. The first thing I need to do is set up a server, because our the product is on-prem solution. You will be downloading it on any local server and then using it. So the server specs can be, the base server spec that we say is start with the CPU of 3.2 gigahertz quad-core processor or equivalent, a RAM of 6 GB with a storage space of 200 GB minimum. You can increase it if you want to. And the databases that we support are PostgreSQL that comes out of the box, comes bundled with our product. It will be installed on the same server. But if you want it on a different server as an external database, you have the option to work with MS SQL. So if you already have it during installation, you can let us know which one you want. It'll ask you which one you need, and you can select it there. The operating systems that we work on or is available are Windows and Linux. Any platform of Linux is supported. So all these specifications that you see is only applicable when the raw data is turned off, meaning unprocessed information, we can process them. That's called as the raw data in our product. So if you turn that off, and let's say the incoming flow rate, which is the number of packets coming in per second, is going to be less than 6,000, then yes, that's when you will be seeing these minimum system requirements. But if you need more, or if let's say your flow rate is higher, you can reach out to our support. The mail address will be listed by the end, and we can suggest you what would be the recommended configuration there. Okay. So with that being said, let's talk about the different ways of how you can actually start getting the information. Because our product, how we work is we have two types of flow export. Because you will have to export the flow from your device. It will reach our product on the 9996 UDP port, which is configurable by default. It's 9996, and yeah. So once the flow packet comes in, automatically we will discover the device and the interfaces, and we'll show you the traffic that way. So that's what happens here. We have two ways of how you could do that. As I mentioned, you can work with having one device added at a time, or you can also go ahead with like logging into the device directly and adding the commands. That's a traditional method. But we have something called as the flow export. So I will be switching ahead to my uh, server going forward, and we'll be showing you the product from there. So to add a device, you can do it two ways. You can go to inventory in devices, add device, or you go to settings, discovery, and export flow. So this is a new function that we brought in where if you provide us the details of the device, like the IP address, the SNMP credential, again, we do support both V1, V2, and V3. So the main thing that we'll be looking for is the read community and the port details so that we can connect it to that device. So also we do support V3, just to let you know. So the thing is that, as I mentioned, you will be needing IP, be needing the SNMP credential and the telnet or SSH, basically CLI credential, in order to log into the device. So let me show you that. So I'm adding one particular device, selecting the credential, and looking into what I would need with respect to logging in, just like as I mentioned, because we would need Puri, like just like how you take Puri, you'll have to need that. So let me go ahead and share that with you right away. I'm going to use SSH and enable username. Okay, so once I have these ready, all I need to do is just click on the next button where the product will do a pre-check on these metrics. So it'll ping the device as the ping test here. You also have the SNMP credential test that we will do, and it'll also try to communicate with the device just like how it takes a Puri. So you can connect there and check there. So also this is a new module, so we only have we have like the commands for major vendors like Cisco or so. And if it is available, it will say that it's available. If it's not available, it'll tell you that the commands are not available. You can reach out to support and we'll give you the exact commands or the way how you can export flow if there's like a GUI for that. So automatically, I'm actually trying to add one of our routers here, a 29 series router, and it has found out that it's an ISR. It's now asking me what is the source interface, as in like to have the details about the flow for source, and it's already giving me the commands that it's going to run. So it's actually saying that it's going to run the command here. It's a version 5. It's exporting directly to my server, and it's also sending it out to the 9996 port. As you can see, everything is filled in automatically. So you just need to go ahead and click on this one button that says export flow. So we will go ahead, communicate with the device, add the commands for you, and in turn have the flow exported to us. So as I said, if the 9996 UDP port must be enabled, I mean, should be open. If there's like a Windows firewall that's blocking, then please make sure that you add a rule to allow both in and out rule for the 996 port. And if you're using Linux, make sure that the IP tables are adjusted and you can have the flows exported. So on a single click, as I mentioned, it will do a check. It will give you a command execution page where it'll tell you that, okay, we've run the commands, everything is fine. Or let's say if there was an issue, it'll even tell you what happened. So that's there. But once you go ahead and see that the device has been added, you will see them listed here under the inventory. So we have two views here, device-based view and interface or import-based view. That's here under the interfaces. So first we'll be focusing about the device view, which is the consolidated view. So let me just check whether the device got added. Yeah, as I said, commands are executed and the flows are received, meaning we are now through the process. And if you go back to the device, so when you go to inventory, it'll automatically take you, when you close it, it'll take you to the inventory, and it's now saying the 140 that is being added right now. So it's going to collect the data, and you will start seeing the information pop up right there. So with that being said, let me talk to you about what we show from the device. So that's the second topic now, device view. So device traffic is going to show you the information about the consolidated view, because we are basically going to view the in-depth details from the interface. But if you consolidate all of that, so let's say you have a switch that supports that's like exporting flows from 8 different ports or interfaces. So we will now consolidate all that data and we'll see it across the device. So that's what we're doing here under the device traffic. So let me get there. Yeah, so as you can see, it's now showing me what that particular device traffic is. It's on a 10-minute average and showing me for the last hour. This is the default time frame. You can change it to any particular time frame of your choice, like 24 hours, yesterday, a week, the month, 90 days, or even custom time period of your choice. So let's say I want to see the traffic that happened on Monday. I can select that, work with the time frame that I need, and automatically all these tabs will align to the time frame that I select. So here we are looking into the device traffic. If you want to see the different interfaces that are exporting the flows, you can see that here. You have the interface, it will give you the color coded information. Here we are just exporting from one interface, so it's one color. But if you have more, you can see them based on different color coded information there. We will also show you things like the top 10 details from your device. So things like the top 10 applications being used, you can view them. Sources are the top IPs that are generating the traffic. So these are like this 8.99. Let's say if this is in your real time, one of the users, you can actually see them here. And you want to know who that user is, just go ahead and click on the resolve IP, and we will be able to resolve the IP address and show you the host name information right there. So that's something you can do from the tool. Destination will talk to you about the top 10 destinations accessed through this device. That's listed there. Uh, Also, you have the option to look into the QoS. The QoS, as in these are the DSCPs, top 10 DSCPs that you've set up on your device directly. So you can now view the traffic based on that, just to make sure that your business critical applications are getting most bandwidth there. Conversation will talk to you about the top talkers. So we give you the complete list, not just the top 10. We give you almost 100 plus. So you can see the source, the destination, which application was involved, and how much individual data was used. So you can see that along the conversation. So these are some things that you can see from the device traffic. Now, if I go to the interface traffic, this is now we are going one more level deeper, and now we are going to the interface level information. So let me just take you to the interface. Again, you can go to inventory interfaces, or you can go to the interface and click on the name. That will take you there, showing you the traditional way. So go to the interface, and when you click on it, you now see much more information than before. So starting with the overview. So one thing to note is that everything that you see here on these tabs are flow based. But our product uses SNMP only for certain details, like in order to update the device name, the interface name, the link speed, and what type of interface it is. Only for these four values we use SNMP. And why we use it? Because we can schedule it so that on the back end, if in case you change the link speed or you change the name, or so automatically it will update, and you don't need to manually do that. That's why. Also, the flow packet will not contain the name like this 012, so it'll only say the interface description name. So it'll say IF name 1 like that. So just to let you know, that is you can change it by updating the SNMP. So coming to the traffic with the interface, you can now see that we are now showing you both the in and out traffic on the same page. And one major thing to notice is we are in a 1 minute average. Previously, it was on a 10-minute average. So on a 1 hour, it was like 10 data points. We have 60 data points, and you can see each data point here. There are different information that you can play around with. We have volume, speed, utilization, and one more thing, which is packets. You have different graph types that you can play around with, and you can also do things like export this graph as a PDF or a CSV. You have email option, and also you can schedule this report to run at a particular time that you want. And let's say there is a dip here and you want to know further, you can just zoom in and automatically we will change the time frame, and this will affect all the other tabs. So if you're trying to do troubleshooting, you can now drill down further and get the information based on that. So again, all the other tabs that you see, application, source, destination, the one major thing is that you can now drill down further and view information based on that. So let's say if this graph was not there before, as you can see, because it was only top 10, but now we have the complete list. And when you know that any one particular application was high, using the color code information, you can now drill down further and you can see, like click on the name, you see the top talkers for that application alone. So you have the option to drill down further on the application, the top sources, and when I say top, not just top 10, the complete list. So you can now drill down further. You can see the transactions that's happened for that particular IP. New things that we are showing here is the port protocol and DSCP, which were not there before. Same thing with the destination, the QoS, and when you come to conversation, we will now double down on the information. Previously, it was only the 4 major tabs, and we show the port protocol, DSCP, and if you have a router that supports BGP, then we can even show you the autonomous system details like these. Shows you the source and destination autonomous system, and you have something called as the AS view, where you can drill down further and see dedicated information about your autonomous systems, like what organization, what is the in and out speed and traffic like that. So yes, that is on the interface traffic. So just to give you an overview, we also have application traffic that I mentioned. You have a graph now, and you can now drill down to every single application. You have the top talker information from your conversation that shows you the top talkers, which application and DSCP was involved. So this is what I was talking before, fetch device and interface name with SNMP. So as mentioned, the flow packet will not contain the device or the interface name. It will only say IF index, and for the device name, it will say the IP address. Not to worry, you just need to go ahead and associate SNMP, and this will come up only when you're exporting the flows directly from the device, because at that time, NetFlow Analyzer will not know what the SNMP credential is. So again, you can fix it. As I said, all you need to do is just go to the devices, click on the device name. It will take you to the device page, and or you can even do it outside. So you have the hamburger menu, click on that, and you will see the very first option that would say associate SNMP credential. So you select the credential, test and associates. So it will test to tell you whether it's passing through or not. And in order to pull the name, you now have it here in the latest versions. Just click on this one, the one that says IF name. And when you click on save, automatically it will update based on the name, the interfaces, and the as you can see, the router name has been updated. You now have all the details like what the make and model number is, the location, things like that. Everything we can fetch from the SNMP detail there. So this is how you can actually fix the issue. So coming to the dedicated monitorings that we have within our product, we have Medianet and Multicast monitoring. So these are proprietary tech again, so from Cisco, so Medianet. So what we do here with Medianet is that we are now able to monitor media-rich traffic such as voice and video traffic for improving the QoE. Also, we can measure performance statistics such as jitter, packet loss, and round trip time. So as I mentioned, if your device supports that particular feature, then you will be able to see the data getting populated on the Medianet tab. So let me give you an idea of how it will be. So I go to the Medianet tab, and I can now see all the different applications that are using up the rich media. So you can see that being listed, and you can see how much packets has been used and how much dedicated volume has been used for the traffic. You have dedicated information for jitter, round trip time, packet loss, or if you want to see all under one roof, just click on the conversation, and we will now show you everything under one page. So like this. So you can just take a PDF and you can have that shared if in case you want to see media level traffic for your application. Okay. So the next topic is multicast traffic monitoring. So multicast, just to give you just like your broadcast, this is going to be in such a way that multicasting actually allows a host to send packets to a specific group of hosts, just like this webinar. I am now able to, as a host, send in packets to a specific group of hosts, not the entire network that I want, but the ones who have connected to this meeting like that. So you can now see transactions based on that multicasting. And the idea here is to see or compare how your regular traffic compares with the multicast traffic that is coming up. So you can see based on the usage and speed. So we have a dedicated section for that. We have the inventory interfaces, and then you go to the multicast. You have the dedicated tab for the multicast that's available here. So now you can actually compare and see where the regular traffic in blue, and as you can see, the multicast is not that high, but you can actually compare and see. Let me show you an example. Okay, so going back to multicast. Yeah, so you can now compare and see how your regular traffic is coming up with respect to the multicast traffic. You can see the applications that are using multicast and how much packets and utilization has been used. So just like your regular traffic, you can view that too. Okay, so the next one is IP SLA monitoring. So in order to explain what we have or what we do here, let me give you an example. So we have like a development center at one of your locations. So let's say New York, and you have the headquarters, let's say yeah, headquarters in New York, and you have the development center based in Jersey. So if that's the case, then you can set it up this way. So let's say you have your development center some IP phones that are connected to your local switch that in turn connects to the router connecting to your ISP over WAN, and you have it connecting with your headquarters back in another location. So if that's the case, you also have some other devices that are using like video, and you have again multiple workstations and servers that are connected over the WAN. So all of these metrics, if you need to monitor, it's going to take you like separate solutions. But with if let's say you have a Cisco router or any Cisco device that supports IP SLA, then you can have monitors added and you can view the traffic that way. So let me show you that. So we have an add-on called as the IP SLA monitoring. So we have it for VoIP, video, and WAN. So the idea here is again, you will the device must support IP SLA. The version should be 15.3 or more. And if you have that, you can now add the commands directly. So for in order for this to work, we will need the SNMP write community, because we'll be writing a command directly on your router or supported device. And that will in turn add the monitors here. So VoIP monitor will give you details like the MOS score, the round trip timing, the jitter, packet loss, and things like that. The WAN monitor will focus mainly on things like the round trip timing and violation there. Video monitor is a mix and match for both VoIP and WAN, so it will give you things like the jitter and latency and the packet loss. So you can specifically set up the monitors. You can drill down further. As in, I click on the name, it'll tell you all the metrics. It'll give you graphs about the sufficient metrics like the jitter and latency there. So coming to this thing, which is going to be the application visibility and control, or in short, AVC. So what AVC does, or how it can be made use in our product, is that you can now get visibility into layer 7 applications using the Cisco AVC technology. So what it does is that either this or let's say the advanced NBAR, so NBAR 2 that is, you can use this to identify web traffic, the URLs that are hosting as an the host traffic there. You can see file sharing information, random port application information, all of that being listed in our product. So what you're doing is within the flow packet, this will contain a certain packet that will record data of your layer 7 applications. So that's what is happening with the NBAR 2. And you can also see things like the hit count for your host report. We have class hierarchy. We can also tell you like an application response time. We have an ART monitoring solution that will show you. So if you need to configure this, you will have to let us know the make and model number, and we will tell you what you need to do in order to go ahead and enable this onto your system. So let me give you a gist of how it looks. So again, this is not additional module. You just, if your device supports it, we will automatically start showing you that. So this will be listed under the NBAR tab, where you can see the data. As you can see, the layer 7 traffic, we are now able to drill down, and we can also like go for any one application also and see all the transactions that's happened for that particular application. So you have the list there, make use of that. And you can also do one more thing. Let me show you. So you will see this AVC tab coming up, provided we have the data on your setup. So you can see the QoS stats that will break down the traffic based on the different parent or child QoS. You have application response time that will tell you each application, how they're responding. We show you information about the client packets, the server packets, and the connection responses and all of that listed here. We also can show you HTTP host level information, as in like each host, how they are going to perform. So that you can see it here again under the HTTP host. So each host, you can drill down further and you can see the transactions that's happened based on that particular port. So you see that. Yep. So you have the HTTP traffic monitoring and application response time that is available under the AVC tab. So tracking most applications of what is consuming using the N bar that I showed you. You go to the N bar and you can see the information. So yeah, N bar, you can view the information here. So coming to our next add-on monitoring, which is going to be wireless traffic monitoring. So wireless traffic monitoring, as in like this works specifically with your WLCs. If your WLC can export NetFlow or any kind of flow technology, we will have that flows coming in. Just like your regular device, we can monitor it. But this time we will be showing you details based on the controller and based on the access points. So that's what we will be doing here. So you can now monitor your Cisco WLANs controllers here. You can find the top traffic usage by access points, SSIDs, applications, clients, and you can also group your WLANs based on SSIDs and access points. So that's something you can do. This gives you an advantage of the bandwidth spikes by identifying the consumptions based on SSIDs, and you can also drill down further by finding your top clients and complete conversation details. Just like how you're able to see it with your regular device, you can now drill down further and view it based on your wireless LAN controllers. So let me actually show you that. You go to the WLC tab, where we'll show you just like how you have the inventory devices and interfaces. Same way you have the controllers and the access points. So you can drill down further on that and you can view the information there. So let's say if I go to one access point, I can see which access point I want and I can drill down further on that. It gives you the traffic information again based on the time frame that you want. You can also see the client information that we've registered from the WLC, the SSID. You can even drill down further and see the transactions for that. The applications that have been used so far and top talkers are available here under the conversation. Yeah. So customizing NetFlow Analyzer to fit your network. So as I mentioned, customization is possible with our tool, and we will now see how you can get forward with that. So let's say if you're going to start with respect to how you can categorize your traffic usage, you can do it based on either like departments, branches, based on your subnets, or let's say related applications, or even VLANs. You can group them. And now we will be discussing about how you can actually do that within our tool. So as you can see, we can sort traffic usage by groups. We have the which is interface, IP, application, DSCP, access points, and SSID groups. So why we would need to create a group at the first place is that, let's say if you need to monitor your combined bandwidth usage to get a better visibility, you can do that. You can also create groups to like do role-based access control, because we have different kind of users within our product. First one is the administrator, who is the like super user. You have operator who has selected access. So let's say you out of all your 10 devices, you're providing access to an operator for 5 of them. So you can only view and make changes for that 5 devices and not the others. So you have role-based access control there. You also have a better visibility to improve the troubleshooting. Just like let's say if you want to see traffic, or if you want to troubleshoot further on either only your port channels or only your VLANs, if you've created a group for that, you can now drill down further, because under the inventory you already have the different kind of groups that are listed, and you can make use of that and view the traffic on that front. So we'll be talking about that now. So as I mentioned, we have different kind of grouping methodologies within our product. It's available under settings, NetFlow groups. So you can create groups based on devices. You can create based on the interfaces. So very easy. Just give it a name. Let us know what would be the speed. By default, it's at 1 Mbps. You can change it. You can select the different interfaces and you can just add it right there. Why this is helpful is, as I mentioned, when you go to the inventory, you can now see interface groups and you're now seeing traffic for that particular group of, let's say, all your port channels that we've created. I can see traffic based on that, just like how you're able to see it for regular interface. So this is one interesting thing called as IP group. So what you're doing here is that you're creating a group based on a certain set of IPs. So it can be a single IP, it can be an entire subnet, or it can be a range that I look into. So I can add the IP here. I can go with IP address, network, or I can go for a range. So the idea is when I go ahead and add any one particular IP, or just an example. So let's say if I've added that, I can now even add another range to it. I can add a network to it or things like that. And the best part is I can now do things like site-to-site traffic is possible. So you can now do provide us a link. So from this site to another site, you want to see your traffic, you can add it there. And when you go to the next step, it will actually tell you what are the different IPs that you want to go ahead and, or sorry, the interfaces that you need to go ahead and associate. So let me show you that. So subnet mask, I can have /24, add that. Going next. Yeah, here I can select which interface I want. So if I want all the interfaces, I can add that. So how this is helpful is because this is going to do real-time calculation across multiple interfaces. So what you saw before was just interfaces as in like one of them, interface groups like you can add to. But now you're on top of this, you are now creating a group just based on IP addresses. If I've created anything, it'll come up here. So you can see that I've added for one of our departments. I have added for a link, second one site to another. I have added that. So I'm just going to one of our departments to show you how it works. So the traffic information is available. The top talkers can also be listed here under the application source destination. So pretty much how what you saw from the interface level traffic, we can collect that in real time and we can have that added here. As in, but the data will collect only after you've added the IP group. Just to let you know, that's something you can do. Other kind of things that you can add is you can add your applications with us because we have an option to add your applications and list them here. You also have an option to work with the DSCPs that are available within the product. So when you go ahead and click on add, you can select the ones you want and you can click on save. So that's going to add it there. You can, and if you're working with wireless LAN controllers, you can even do APs and you can even add the SSIDs there. So that's something you can do with the tool. So you can add your access points with us and you can even group your SSIDs with us. So because it will be available right here. So when you go to wireless and controllers, you have your access point groups, you have SSID groups, and you can view them right there. So can I monitor traffic for my custom application? Yes, you can, certainly. You can do that. Why we provide this is because organizations have their own custom applications. You can map that with us. So how you're doing this is that you will have to provide us two major information. One is going to be the port or the port range, and the second one is the protocol. So I'll show you how. Go to mappings, you have application, add. You already have 11,000 plus applications, but if you want to add your custom one, just give us a name. Let us know the port range as I mentioned before, and you will be letting us know what is the protocol, and you can add it right there. So once you add it, it will start showing up in your inventory, as in the applications that you can see that. And let's say there are some IP addresses involved with this application that you're going to map, and you can add it here under the services. Custom services can be added based on the IP address, network, or range, and you can also mention your ported protocol just like how we did before. And if you want to do it within the product itself, so I mean within the inventory page, there is an option I'll show you. But again, that is dedicated to with, like, let's say if you're connected here within the inventory. So you go to the interface, You go to the application tab, and right across every application, you will see something called as show port. So if you click on it, it will tell you what are the different transactions that's happening. And these following ports, so as you can see the port and protocol, you can see them and you can mix it. So let's say if I need this 40 and this protocol, I just click on this add mapping, select which port I want, give it a name. And if you want to add IPs, you can add it as a service. And going forward, if that matches, your custom application will start listing up here. So that's something you can do within the tool right from here itself. Okay. So coming to the top reports of NetFlow Analyzer, as mentioned, our product is a reporting tool, and you can make use of all these major reports on a day-to-day basis, starting with the search report. So what this report does is that you are now able to search specific traffic details by associated application, protocol, host, or IP. So let me show you that. So as the name suggests, you're now doing a search based on different criteria. Okay, so you can select the different sources. As you can see, even IP groups and WLCs are added. So you can go ahead and do that. And here you can select any interface of your choice, if you select interface that is. And these are the different criteria that I mentioned. So you have source address and network, as in like the subnets, the nodes, which is the range. You can do it both for source and destination. You can add for application, port range, DSCPs, and autonomous systems. So you can do that. The best part is you can mix and match between them, and provided you select which traffic you want to look into, in, out, or both. And you can even set time frame as of when you want to see the data for time period, and you can generate the alert. So that's what we do here with the search report. Compare report here means we are comparing bandwidth usage of a different, or at a different time interval. Yes, but actually you can do much more. So compare reports are doing two major things. You can compare uh, multiple devices at the same time, for load sharing, that is, and same device for different time. So let's say if you need to bring a device down for firmware upgrade, so when you want to know when you do it, so you can do use this option and make use of it. You can look into the speed, volume, packet utilization. You can look into the time frame of your choice. Even custom time frame is available. Um, you want to see which metric device selections you want to see based on utilization, top 10, like you can select it and make use of it. Business hours filter is there, where let's say if you want to see the traffic between 9 to 6 only, you can do that. And if you want to exclude weekends within the report, you have the options to do that. This is available in all our reports there. So you can compare that, and we can use the traffic based on that. Consolidated report. Track the top talkers and conversations with a complete report. So as the name suggests, consolidated. You are going to get one single report that will give you everything. So things like source, I mean, let's say I'm selecting interface. Let's say I want to see the top 10 utilization for 7 days, and I click on generate. So what it's going to do is it's going to give you one report that will tell you what is the hourly traffic. It's going to tell you the application in and out, source in and out, and destination in and out, all under one roof. So it's telling the report as we speak. Yes, there it is. So you can see that we are now able to show the hourly traffic there. It's going to give me in and out. It's also telling me the average here, based on the maximum minimum average, the 95 percentile. You can see that the application in and out is available, source in and out, destination in and out, all of them top 10 based on the information that I selected. Yep, that's there. One single report that you need to export as PDF, CSV, or email to your senior management in case of any issue. You can show that here. You can make use of this. Inventory report, this visualizes the combined traffic usage of all the interfaces. So let's say you have a scenario where you want to see the traffic that has happened between the utilization of 20% to 90%. If that's the case, you want to see all the metrics at one place, I can make use of that. So let's say 20, and I'm saying 90. So I need this for last 7 days. Data report. So this will show you a demarcation of how you can see all the details based on the time frame. So as I said, I'm looking into 20%. That's real. And once above, about 20, within 90, you can see them here in and out. You can also compare it for volume, speed, and utilization. Again, the export options are available right there. Also, we have this billing report. What this does is that you can measure the bandwidth usage to verify your ISP billing, and you can create bill plans. So if you want to know how much of an exact bill you can get from your ISP this month, or let's say if you are the ISP and you want to bill your customers, you want to know how to do that, you can make use of the billing reports. So you go to billing, go ahead and click on add. So we bill based on the speed or volume, and you can let us know the details, how much base volume is going to be. So let's say so let's say like $100, just an example. So you can customize it further, like additional how much how much is going to be used. So you can set it up, and you can even enable alerts if in case it's crossing a particular value of that, you can get it. And for your state, if you have different taxes, you can even do that. You can get a roundabout number. So when you go ahead and add this detail, you go to next, and that's why we can associate the different kind of devices. You can either do it based on interfaces, you can do it based on IP groups, you can even do it based on interface groups. When I select them, so it will ask you when you want to schedule it, because we are available for monthly and quarterly. And what date you want to generate the report, you can do that, and you can have this emailed as a report with the name of your choice. So why this is helpful is you can get a report, as I mentioned, but if you want to see on-demand reports, just click on the blue icon. It will show you every single day how much it is being used. You can even drill down further on it, see based on each interface as of where exactly it's going up, because you did see that there was some additional usage for the day. You can see them. You have a graph that you can work with. You can export it as a PDF and troubleshoot further on that. That's something you can do within the billing list. So yeah, inventory report, just to give you, because many customers have been asking this, how you can go ahead and view information based on the particular data that I want to look into between certain values. So you can make use of this bird's eye view. So all these reports that you see were able to just search. Pretty much you're doing a search here, and that's what we're showing you here. But what if you can actually create a report and view it at any given point of time? So that's when the scheduled report comes in handy. So what we're doing here is that you can create a report of your choice with different filter options. So you can now filter the different data that you want and view traffic based on that. So let me show you the report profiles. So this is available under the report profile name. So go ahead and click on add. You can select between the different reports that we have. And you can even add a filter of your choice. So the filters can either be include filter or exclude filter. So we can choose that. And you have the different options. So let's say if you want to certain IPs you want to remove it, you can do that, or include the range or DSCPs or things like that. You can mix and match them, and you can view it. So why this is helpful is, let's say rather than you going ahead and then typing in all of that information based on the criteria and then searching it, you can already create it. If I want to view the report, all I need to do is just click on this. It'll give me directly. Everything will be listed as per I want. And if I want to schedule reports, I can do that too. So as you can see, we have scheduled reports that adds the schedule daily, weekly, monthly, and you can get notified using email. So you go to schedule profiles, add schedule. You have different, all these reports here, and some others within the inventory also will be listed. You have a different type of export format. You have PDF or CSV, and you have the recurrence details, which is either once, daily, weekly, or monthly. So you can pick and choose where. And also you can get an email notification with the report. So you have that option too. Okay, so coming to the dashboard and knock view. So what we're doing here is that this is basically the login screen that you have. So it's available under the dashboard section. So what we do, as I mentioned, is every dashboard has its own purpose. So let's say this overview, traffic summary, is telling me things like how many devices are exporting flow, what kind of flow packets and things like that. How many interfaces are up and running, you can see that. If in case an interface is down, you can see based on that. Or again, these are widgets that's giving you information. You can even do things like network snapshot that tells you what are the top 10 interfaces by utilization, speed, and all of that. And any one interface or so that you see, if you want to like drill down further and see what's happening, just click on it. It's going to take you directly to that device or the interface wherever you click on, and you can start troubleshooting like that. So the widgets are you can interact with them, and any widget that you see, you can move them around and you can resize them based on your choice. You can even create your own custom dashboard there. So that's available here under the custom option. Give it a name. Yeah. And when you go next, you have the list of all the widgets that you can make use of. You can select the ones that you want. And when you go to next, as I said, you have role-based access control. So you can create users, where administrator is the top user. Operator is like selected access. Select the ones I want, and guest is only read access. They can view information only. When I create it, it'll be listed under the custom dashboard, and I can view that there. And we also have one more thing called as the knock view. So knock view or CCTV view, what you're doing is you can mix and match between multiple different dashboards and widgets, and you can have them projected on a large screen. So this is how it'll look. So it'll pop up on a new page, which you can ask, you can put it to your NOC team or your team that's managing the NetFlow Analyzer. And important dashboards that you see, you can make use of it here. You can have them projected on a large screen and have them viewed. By default, it works on a 30-second time frame. You can select the time frame as I showed. You can move these widgets, you can resize them, and if you click on it, it's going to take you directly to that information. So like on this widget, if you click on it, it's going to take me to that particular device or interface of my choice. So this is a night mode. You have day mode also that you can work with. So that's another option that you can have. And just to let you know, we also have alerts within our product. So alerts are categorized in two ways. You have real-time alerts. We have aggregated alerts. Real-time alert meaning any issue that's happening as and when we speak. It's happening right now. You get an alert. So there are two types. You can either go with the pre-configured alert that is down, that is there for link down, meaning if any interface is down, then you can get an alert based on that. So when you go to the settings, NetFlow alert profiles, you will see two categories, real time and aggregated. So under real time, you see link down, meaning if the port is down, you can get an alert and you can select how long. If it's down, then you need to set an alert. You have that. And what are the different actions that you can perform are things like, send out email, SMS, and integrations are possible with the services plus ServiceNow, Slack, and to get alerted based on that. This is pre-configured. The second type, as you can see here, is the threshold based. So you can do a threshold based alert based on IP addresses, range or network. You can do it based on protocol, the application, DSCPs, and things like that. So you can also do based on conditions. So as the idea is, you set out the alert, meaning you are now able to set a threshold. And if that threshold crosses, you will be getting an alert, which is out of the box. I'll show you that real-time alert. I'm selecting interface. So let's say a classic example, high utilization. So 80% has come up almost like 6, 7 times within 30 minutes, but you don't have an alert because you have not configured it. So you can do it. So you go to interface, select the interface of your choice. Let us know if you want us to look into in traffic, out traffic, or both. And you can even customize further. So let's say if I need to look into specific application level traffic, click on that, and you can select which application you want and things like that. And coming to this one, which is the threshold. So this is where I can set the threshold within the product. So you have the option to work with utilization, volume, speed, and packet. Okay. And how you can go ahead and set thresholds within our product, I'll show you. So in our example, it was 80% usage. So 80% utilization comes up almost 3 times within the last 30 minutes. and I can send out a severity based alert. So severity here is critical, high severity, trouble, mid, and attention least. Let's select critical, and you can choose between different values here. So you'll have to create templates. That's here. So the template different options are like you have email based SMS, regular SMS. You have chat that integrates with Slack. You can run a program on that particular server, and you have log a ticket that integrates with Service Desk Plus and Service Now. And you can also send out syslogs or tabs, and all these ways of how you can get alerted in real time if in case any issue comes up. This is real time. So let's say if I go to the second option, which is the aggregated, as the name suggests, we are going to aggregate data and we're going to look into the collective information there. So an event is generated when the total number of packets or volume over the time frame crosses the threshold. So here also we have threshold, but it's for a limited usage. So let's say you're keeping a track of all the flows coming in, all the bandwidth that's being used. And let's say combine, let's say 1000 GB is your limited space, and you're going to cross 800, you need to get an alert. So you can do that here. So you have based on volume of packet, and said it crosses 800 GB, I need to get an alert. So I set that up. Different ways of creating alert. As I said, I need an email alert. I select that, and I can just go ahead and save it. Where do you have the notification upload? Yeah, so all of these options are available that you can make use of for the alerts. So coming to a classic scenario where this is a network engineer and one of his links are down and he doesn't know where. It can be either the router, the core switch, or one of the switches that goes to your LANs, but he doesn't know where it is because he just knows that users are complaining and it's down. So how do you get to troubleshoot this within our tool? So the major thing here is to identify the source of congestion that's happened. So you can do that here by simply going to the inventory. That is if you're logged into the product. We suggest you use we suggest you use the alert profiles within our product. So that will help you out in real time. But if you want to go ahead and see real-time traffic, you can just go to the interfaces. So there you will see which particular interface is spiking. You can now drill down further on that. And now you see the traffic where it's spiking. You want to see which application was used. You can click on the application and view the transaction based on that. Or simply if I want to see who's hogging network, just go to source, and on the top you will have the top 10 users. You have that. You now click on that further, see who that user is, why it is all IP, and you can now see all the transactions. And let's say if I need to block a traffic or so, I can use these port information, port protocol information, and I can block the traffic there. So these are some things you can do in real time to identify the network congestion. So we were able to fix this issue with finding out who or which part of the network is affected using the inventory that's there. You can identify the source of congestion by specifically looking into which traffic it was, and you can start the troubleshooting based on the data that you collected. So just to let you know, our product also offers, all this while we were looking into the standalone version. In our product, we call it the Essential. But we have something called as the distributed monitoring, or we call it the enterprise edition, where you can enable distributed monitoring within our tool. So this will provide high scalability and a centralized console for monitoring. So as you can see, each site that you have, you can set up an individual collector that will later do the data collection, and central server at your head office can view all these information from all these sites. If you're even spread across the globe, each collector at, let's say, your US office, one in London or so, and if your central server is back in New York, so that central server will now view the information specifically for each collectors or all at one. So I'll show you an example. So this is one of our central servers here, and if it's a probe, we'll say P, that is if it's a collector. It's sharing me information across all collectors, or if I want one single collector or any one, let's say 5 of them, I can now check which collector I want, and I can view information based on that. I can also connect directly to that collector UI. When I go to the dashboard collectors, it's showing me information about that collector, what are the devices connected, how many interfaces and things like that, what is the flow rate, all under one roof. When I click on it, it's going to take me to that particular collector UI, and I can log in right there. So I have control both. I can do it from the center server, or if I want to specifically look into the data from your collector, you can do that too. So distributed monitoring available within the enterprise edition. So just to let you know, we have something called as enterprise edition, and you can view the distributed monitoring there. Okay. Yeah. So just to let you know, we also have a single click approach to Enterprise Edition. When you go to the product within the settings, you will find NetFlow and you will see something called as distributed monitoring. So like, let's say if you have the standalone edition, if you want to convert this as a distributed monitoring, for paid customers, you will have to reach out to support. We will guide you how to do that. For enterprise, I mean, for evaluators, you can connect this to a center server and you can go ahead and start monitoring it right there. But just to let you know, this is a one-way change from essential to the enterprise. If you change, you cannot revert back to essential again. So again, before you do this, we always recommend you reach out to us. We will guide you with the process. Okay. So a quick summary of what we've been seeing so far. We have seen what exactly is NetFlow Analyzer, how do you configure the devices to export the flows, what the details you can see with respect to the device, with respect to the interface, the application, the top dockers, and all of that. How do you group devices? How do you group interfaces? And also, how do you map your custom applications with us? That's something you can do with the tool. And also, we did see the different reports that's available and also real-time alerts that you can generate from the product that is. So these were how you can set up with respect to the initial settings that you can do from our product. So with that being said, I just wanted to quickly discuss the different questions that have come up so far, because we've been getting some good questions from the attendees here. Thank you very much. So we will be discussing that today, starting with the first question, which is I have configured only one interface for flow export, but the NetFlow Analyzer is showing multiple interfaces in the GUI. How to fix this? So this is a classic example because some of your devices, the interfaces will be connected like a daisy chain. Like the interface out interface of one particular interface will be connected to the in of the next one. So that way, if you enable flow, it will even show you the data from the other interfaces too. But not to worry, you can like, let's say if there are interfaces that you don't want to monitor, you can simply go ahead and unmanage them with us. You have the option. Go ahead and click on the interface. Select the interface that you don't want. So let's say I have two from here. I don't want this one, which is not working. I can select it and I have the option to show unmanaged, meaning I'll be taking it off the license temporarily, which I can bring it back again. So to do that, I need to go to settings, NetFlow, license management. As the name suggests, you're going to manage your licenses. Again, just select them and click on unmanaged. It's going to take it off and show it here under the unmanaged. So if you want it back again, click on the unmanaged interface and you can revert it back. Do not click on delete until or unless you don't want to see that interface ever again, because if you do that, you'll have to log into the database. It's going to take some time to get that interface back, but we can do it, just to let you know. Second question is going to be, I am a service provider, want to monitor specific link utilization that I assign to customers. So if that's the case, then you can go ahead and make use of the interface groups. Go to group settings, the different interfaces that you want to go ahead and create for the interface groups will be available. You can make use of that. So yep, group settings, interfaces. So the different interfaces for link monitoring, you can see that. Once you've created it, you go to the inventory, interface groups, and view the traffic as per you want. So question number 3, what is the configure devices to export the flows from NetFlow Analyzer and add device, but the device is not showing up in the GUI. Okay, so this will come up only if, I mean, you have configured the export flows from NetFlow Analyzer add option, but the device is not showing up. Meaning, the commands are right, but your devices are actually exporting flows, but there is a network issue, or let's say the port is being blocked on your server and you're not able to view it. So that is the major, like 90%, this will be the issue. Or there are like external firewalls that is blocking your traffic. You need to check that. As I mentioned, if you're using Windows firewall that's enabled, please create inbound and outbound rules for the 9996 UDP port or whichever port is configured. So if you want to see, if you want to like configure more ports because your device doesn't support that, then you can even do that too. So when you go to settings, server settings, you have the option to configure your listener ports. Here you have 9996 and 9997. So you can even put like 2055 if you want. So just do that and click on save. Once you do, just restart the server or restart the service. Only then this will pick it up. You can go max of 5 different listener ports. Okay, so why the interfaces are named as IF index? How will I get the appropriate interface names? Okay, so as I mentioned before, the flow packet will not contain the information from for the device name or the interface name. It will only say IF index. That's what I was trying to say. It will not contain the name. You will have to manually fetch it using SNMP. The process is very simple, as I told you. So this is an example. If you need to do it, just click on the devices, select the device that you want. Either you go into the device or you can do it this way. Select the interface, click on the three dots, associate SNMP credential, let us know which one it is, test and associate. Once it passed to, select IF name, the second option, interface name, and click on save. Within few seconds, the device and the interface name will be updated. Okay. Yeah. So first question, can I see traffic based on geolocation? Yes, you can. So as I mentioned, you have the option to view traffic based on that. You can do things like view interface level traffic or device level traffic. And when you go to the device and when you see things like sources or destination, you will now see a tab that says geolocation, where we have the option to break down the traffic based on different countries, geolocation based search. Yeah. And okay, sorry. You can see the traffic based on that. So just to let you know, it will show you like United States or Canada, and you can see the traffic based on that. Configure the devices to export NetFlow, but the data shown for the interface is not correct. Okay, this will come up again if the configuration is wrong. If you're doing it manually, that is. Yeah, like you've sent in the commands directly on the device, and if it's incorrect, if there are some lines that are missing, you will see the data not matching. Or this is one major thing that would happen. Let's say go to the interface. So you remember I said that we update the link speed using SNMP. So that again, you will have to make sure that the link speed is updated, because by default, it will just take the standard information that we get from the flow. It might not be right because what you set on the device might be different. So you need to update it here. Like you can do it manually, but we won't suggest that. We recommend using SNMP because this will be automatically updated if you try that. Okay. So once you have the link speed set up, you will see the data perfectly fine. Question number 7, can we configure alerts if a certain application uses more bandwidth? Yes, you can. As I mentioned, you can make sure that you can set up the different alert profiles within our product. So alert profiles in real time can alert you if in case any particular transaction is going high based on the threshold. In this case, it's going to be interface. You select application, select the different application you want, and you can set up the utilization. And you're pretty much saying that, okay, if this application is going to take up more space or more bandwidth, please let me know. And you have the alert mechanisms available there. So question number 8, can we create device-based reports with specific filter? Yes, you can. So as I mentioned, you just need to make sure that you select this one, which is the report profile. So when you click on report profile, you are actually creating a report. And within that report, you get to create your own filter. And you can either add an in and out, exclude or include filter, and you can have it set up for your devices. Question number 9, is there an option to get a comparison bandwidth report? Yes, you can. So as I mentioned, within our product, we have two types of comparison. One is for multiple devices, so load sharing, you can use that. And same device for different time period to understand when to bring a device down, you can make use of this. Question number 10, final question. Is there any option to have dashboard widget to show real-time graph? Okay, and set it as a knock screen. Yes. If you go to the dashboard, you have a particular widget called as traffic widget. So I'll show you. So you have options to look into how these are going to be used. Yeah, so as I mentioned, you have an option to look into the interface traffic or so. So that's called as the traffic. So let me show you that. Go ahead, edit the dashboard. So I'm adding one from an existing dashboard, that is. So I need to look into traffic. Okay, so this is the one. This is showing me for edit, showing me for devices. I want to say interface for a particular interface. So last 1 hour, I can change it entirely like this. So you can view the traffic there. You can expand it to see on a larger scale also. So real time, you can integrate this on a dashboard. So when you create a dashboard, you select the one that you want. Okay. Okay. So just to let you know, a reminder, if you are an existing customer with us, you can share your experience on the Gartner website and you can get a $25 gift card. So in order to do that, please make sure that you connect to this particular bit only link, bit.ly/itom_review. Select NetFlow Analyzer and you get the instructions. So once you go ahead and post it on the Gartner review, once we review it, we will be able to send you a $25 gift card. So you can go ahead and grab yours at the earliest. So with that being said, I would like to invite each one of you to our second part, which is coming up exactly a week from now, 25th of February. We will be discussing on the part two of the two-part series, which is on network security and troubleshooting. We'll be looking into details like network forensics, how you can get advanced reporting based on that, security analytics, which is the attacks module. We have predicting and planning bandwidth needs with respect to different reports like the capacity planning that we have, bandwidth optimization using different options where you can optimize the bandwidth here, ACLSO, and what are the new features, updates, and integrations we've brought into the latest version of NetFlow Analyzer. So that will be discussed on the upcoming series. So I would request all of you to join in next week. And if you do need any help in the meantime, please make sure that you have these links. Our YouTube channel is available that has quick videos, how to videos there, and even this presentation will be shared there. It's at youtube.com/opmanagertechvideos. You have a playlist for NetFlow Analyzer, and you have all our videos listed there. The online help document is available at help.netflowanalyzer.com. Our technical community where you can post FAQs and look into them. That's at forums.manageengine.com/NetFlow Analyzer. And if you need to write to us for any support related queries, you can, or if you're evaluating the product, you can just reach out to us at netflowanalyzer-support@manageengine.com. And for sales related queries like price quotes or so, you can reach out to sales@manageengine.com. And we have the hotline numbers there, 1-888-720-9500. And for Canada, we have 408-916-9400. Yep. So with that being said, I would like to thank each and every one of you for joining in today. And I hope this first part was helpful. And if you're evaluating the product, this is a heads up of how you can start up with the evaluation. And if you have any queries, as I mentioned, please do write to us at netflow-support@managing.com. And I'll see you all on part two of the two-part series. Thank you. This is Deepak signing off.